MART introduced another proprietary technology to treat waste streams. We call it the EQ-1 wastewater treatment system. EQ-1 stands for environmental quality, and 1, as you will see in the demonstration, refers to the fact that the waste separation and encapsulation occur in one step. You will also note in the demo that the MART EQ-1 process is fast, simple, and extremely clean. The components of the system are the processor itself, a roll of filter paper, and the encapsulating compound we call magic dust. The reason we call it magic dust will be clear to you as you watch the demo. The key to the process, quite obviously, is the magic dust itself. Each magic dust formulation is application and site specific. As a first step, you will thoroughly mix the wastewater to be treated in its own reservoir. Then you will pump the solution into the processor. The mixer is turned on for 10 to 15 seconds and the predetermined amount of magic dust is added. You mix the wastewater and magic dust for 5 to 7 minutes. After mixing, shut off the mixer and observe the waste in the site tube. You will see a dramatic separation of waste and solution. Allow the encapsulated waste to settle completely out of solution. This settling process usually takes 3 to 5 minutes. When you observe that the solution and wastewater are completely separated, move the left lever to open the standpipe valve. The intake of the standpipe protrudes through the encapsulated waste, so opening this valve allows the clarified solution and free chemical to run through the filter paper and into the clarified solution holding tank at the bottom of the processor. Now it's time to remove the encapsulated waste. For this, you move the right-hand lever to open the lower valve so the encapsulated waste can discharge onto the filter paper. You pull the filter paper forward and wrap up the waste like a burrito, squeezing out some of the excess solution. Next, you cut the filter paper and remove the burrito, placing it in the drying chamber on the right side of the processor. Ports in the drying chamber allow the runoff to return to the holding tank. Over time, the burrito will dry into a solid dough or concrete-like material. What is traditionally a very sloppy and messy procedure is rendered clean by the EQ-1 process. The final step is to run the rinse for about 10 seconds to flush out any traces of encapsulated waste in the mixing chamber and site tube. To run the rinse, the lower valve must be open. Close the discharge valve on the left side of the processor and open the rinse valve. Then turn on the transfer pump in the holding tank, which causes clarified solution to flow through the rinse manifold in the mixing chamber. The solution flows into the holding tank and the waste is collected on the filter paper. After the rinse cycle, you close the rinse valve, open the discharge valve, and run the transfer pump to return the clarified solution and chemical to the wash system at the rate of about 30 gallons per minute. The transfer pump has an automatic shutoff, so you can start the pump and go on to other work. Here are some additional benefits you might consider. As you saw, the disposable hazardous waste was reduced from 125 gallons of liquid waste to about 5 gallons of solid waste. In many cases, this reduction in disposable waste changes the generator status of the shop or plant. When you factor in the chemical savings, then you can appreciate how cost-effective the MART EQ-1 wastewater treatment system really is. And if all of the benefits listed are not sufficient, then note that in most cases the encapsulated waste will not leach in a T-clip test. In other words, it is possible that your encapsulated waste is eligible for disposal in an industrial landfill. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video to learn about the MART EQ-1 system.